Hi guys, I'm back for another video, and for today's video, my content is about Chapter 4, Network Access. And all I'm going to do is about activities regarding on this chapter. So the first activity is about physical layer terminology. So let's start answering it, because there are another 3 activities after this activity. So let's start. Instruction. Descriptions of the physical layer are provided in the table. Drag each physical layer term to its description. So the first statement is media that uses patterns of microwaves to represent bits. So the answer is wireless. Next statement is the capacity of a medium to carry data. Is bandwidth. Next statement is media that uses patterns of light to represent bits. It is fiber optic. A measure of the transfer of bits across the media is throughput. And last statement is media that uses electrical pulses to represent bits. It is copper. So let's check if it is correct. So all the answers are correct. Before we go to another activity, let's explain first why does it is the answers. So first, wireless signals are patterns of microwave transmissions. So wireless, fiber optic, and copper are the types of media. Then bandwidth, the capacity of a medium to carry data, or it is typically measured in kilobytes per second, megabytes per second, or gigabytes per second. The next is fiber optic. It uses patterns to light to represent bits. It's also a type of media. Then throughput, a measure of the transfer of bits across the media. Throughput usually does not match the specified bandwidth in physical layer implementations. As you see in the speed test can reveal the throughput of an internet connection, wherein you can see the fast of your network access or the slow connection of your internet access. So next is media that uses electrical pulses to represent bits. It is also types of media. So let's go for another activity. Next activity is about copper media characteristics, wherein it includes UTP, STP, and coaxial. So let's start. First, the instruction is UTP, STP, and coaxial copper media characteristics are provided in the table. Click the appropriate field to match the characteristics to the media type. First statement is attaches antennas to wireless devices can be bundled with fiber optic cabling for two-way data transmission. So the answer is coaxial. Next statement is counters EMI and RFI by using shielding techniques and special connectors. It is shielded transmitted per cable. Next is most common network media. It is UTP or unshielded twisted pair cable. Let's check if it is correct. It says that it is incorrect, although my answers are correct. So let's try putting some answers in this last table. So what if it is Croatian? So the answer is correct. Although the last part doesn't have a question, but the answer is correct. I don't know why. So before we go to another activity, I'm just going to explain what is UTP, STP, and coaxial. So UTP is unshielded twisted pair cable. It is a cabling that is the most common networking media. It also terminated with RJ45 connectors. Then STP, or shielded twister pair cable, provides better noise protection than UTP cabling. It is more expensive and difficult to install. And also it uses RJ45 connector. Last is coaxial cable, or in short, coax, I think. Then coaxial connectors includes BNC, N-type, and F-type. So before that, these cables are used to interconnect nodes on a local area network and infrastructure devices such as switches, routers, and wireless access points. So let's move on to another activity. For the third activity, it is all about fiber optics terminology. Instruction. Descriptions of fiber optic media are provided in the table. Click the appropriate field to match a description to the fiber optic cable type. Before I'm going to answer this activity, I'm just going to read all the statements in this screen. Number 1 is, it can help data travel approximately 1.24 miles or 2 km or 2,000 meters. Next, uses light emitting diodes or LEDs is a data light source transmitter. Number 3, uses lasers in a single stream as a data light source transmitter. Last is used to connect long-distance telephony and the cable TV applications. So let's start answering these statements. First statement is a multimode. Next is also a multimode. And then number 3, it is a single mode. And also number 4 is also a single mode. Let's check. Oh my god. This statement says that my answer are incorrect. But as you see in the screen, you see that all my answers are correct. I think it is the same on what happened in the last activity or the second activity. Let's try again to put some answers in the blank spaces. So in number 5, I think, let's guess, what if it is multimode? Then it is also a multimode. Okay. Number 5 is incorrect. So it is single mode. I don't know why it is correct, even though it doesn't have a question. So it is correct. So in this activity, I'm going to explain a multi-mode and a single mode. So a single mode is a single straight path for light. So as you see in the, if you open in NetAcad, you will see or search what is single mode fiber. It is line that straight. So it consists of a very small core and uses expensive laser technology to send a single ray of light. It is popular in a long distance situations spanning hundreds of kilometers. Then the multi-mode fiber consists of a larger core and uses LED emitters to send light pulses. The figure of it is like any directions. It is not a single straight line. The line are anywhere, I think. Then allows multiple paths of light. So as what I've said earlier, it is not a single straight line. Then the difference between these two is the amount of dispersion, or a dispersion refers to spreading out of a light pulse over time, wherein the more dispersion there is, the greater the loss of a signal strength. So that's all, and then let's go to the last activity. In the last activity in this chapter, network access, it's about generic frame fields. In this activity, it includes two parts. In first part is the diagram, or where I'm going to drag all these given answers, and then in the part 2, I'm going to also drag the answers in the given descriptions. So first, let's start in part 1. Instructions. Drag the generic frame field to its correct location on the diagram. Before that, I'm going to start in these 3 parts before I'm going to drag in the frame fields in below here. So first answer is header, and then packet data, and the last is trailer. Let's check if it is correct. So it is correct. I just didn't answer the bottom. So next is frame start, and then addressing, then type, control, data, because packet data, then data, error detection, and frame stop, because it is the end of the field. Let's check. So all the answers are correct. Before I'm going to move on in the last activity, or last activity or the part 2, I'm going to explain this part. So, in these 3 parts, it is called frame type, the header, packet data, and the trailer. Wherein the data or packet data, it is a high IP header, transport layer, video, and data, wherein it connects to the data, as you see in the figure. So in this next part, it is called the frame field types, wherein you need to start and then stop. So the last part is stop. So in frame start and stop indicator flag, and identify the beginning and the end. Then in addressing, it is the source and the destination. And in the type, it includes the layer 3 protocol. And in the control is the special flow control services such as the quality of service, and then the data or the frame payload. Then last is error detection, used to error detection. That's why it's error detection. So in the next part is the descriptions of these given answers. So drag and drop the generic frame field to its description. Let's start. First description contains the IP header, transport layer, PDU, and data. It is the data. As I just said earlier, the packet data or data contains the IP header, transport layer, PDU, and data. Next, identifies the layer 3 protocol used by the LLC. It is the type that includes in the frame field types. Marks the end of the frame. It is the frame stop indicator flag. It is just common sense, because if you see the end of the frame, it is the frame stop. Okay. Next, identify source and destination host by MAC address. Addressing. As I just said earlier, source and destination. There is the keyword source and destination. That's why it is addressing. Last, it specifies special flow control services. So it is control. So as you see in the sentence, it says flow control. So it is control. Let's check. Is correct. So that's all for today, and thank you for watching, and that's all. Bye.